Hey everybody, John Felt here. This is the Blue Water Outlook Weekly Weather Briefing for July 12th, 2025, the middle of summer. Some areas are going to be really hot. I'll be talking about other areas getting some relief through a backdoor cold front as we get into mid-July. Stay tuned for today's weather briefing. Well, first off, let's take a look at some of the weather risks this week, and it's going to be associated with this cold front right here. It'll be sort of stationary area of low pressure, so we have flood watches out in this area. Hot weather in the west, some air quality due to wildfires in the upper Midwest. Now, any of these storms can produce some really heavy rain and flooding, and you can see in yellow is where we have that risk for some flooding. Now, last week looks sort of typical of what we've had in summertime, where we have hail reports in the plains, that's purple, high wind reports in the east, that is the yellow observations on this map. Now, precipitation, first thing you notice when you look at this, all the pot marks type precipitation, summertime, scattered, mainly afternoon, evening, nighttime storms. Many times, very heavy rain, an inch or so in one spot, right next to that, nothing at all. But some of the more widespread rain occurred over the Midwest here, parts of Nebraska, Iowa, and then along the East Coast we had flooding rain as well, the Mid-Atlantic region and parts of central Texas here. Now, temperatures last week, anything in the yellow was above normal, and where we had that rainfall in Texas and Oklahoma, that kept temperatures down below normal. Now, the interesting thing here that I'm looking at, I want to do a little research on this and put out a post. My friend Craig Edwards mentioned this to me, is that it's when you look at the warming temperatures, you might say 1 or 2 degrees warmer, but it's being contributed most by warmer overnight low temperatures. So I want to look at that and focus on that a bit more. But this was the lowest temperatures last week, and anything in the red did not drop below 70 degrees, and of course down around Phoenix and the southwest U.S. did not drop below 80 degrees. As a matter of fact, you might have noticed recently how many cactus, very long-lived cactus, are dying due to the excessive heat in the southwest. Okay, so we have some muggy air in the central U.S., dew points 70 to 75. But look at this here. We've got some drier air that has pushed into this region, and that's giving a reprieve from some of the summer humidity over parts of the western Midwest, the plains, the upper plains. Now, as far as rivers go and flooding, we have a couple areas that we're focusing on where we have those flood watches: Oklahoma, parts of New Mexico and Texas, and then a smaller part of the northeast U.S. Okay, so this is the dip in the jet stream that's bringing the drier air into parts of the upper Midwest. But we have high pressure on both sides of that. That's where the hot weather will be. As we get towards the middle of the week, we have another area of low pressure, and that's going to be digging out this trough here a bit more. It doesn't take much in the middle of summer to really give some effect, and this will be some drier and cooler air over parts of the Midwest to bring some relief to summer heat. And we can see that that's not unusual to get a backdoor cold front. Great weather when we do get that. And you can see all the blue here. This is the bookmark: high pressure in this region, high pressure in this region, those regions hot, and in between with that jet stream digging down, that's going to bring some summer relief. And that's going to go into the second 5-day period and even linger a bit into late July before gradually diminishing. Okay, now another post I want to put out this week is a hurricane update, what's going on. But right now, take a look at the Atlantic Basin. Very stable and just not much going on. So it looks quiet this week. No tropical activity right now. Okay, so here's our rainfall forecast. You know, the monsoon flow is developing, although it looks like we will get some into New Mexico, and that could produce some flooding. The Oklahoma and Texas region again, large parts of the Florida peninsula, some heavy rain, and everywhere else just pockets of heavy rain here and there. Again, the mid-Atlantic region and the upper Midwest. So a bit similar to last week. Okay, so let's go out here and look at week 2. Here's week 2. Just take a look at it for your area. It looks like that cool air lingers into the 6 to 10 day period in the middle U.S. gradually fades away. We get back to summer. And then here's weeks 3 and 4, pretty strong dry signal. So we could have, as we get into August, that's sort of the stagnant, August and September, sort of stagnant, not as much severe weather, not as much organized weather. We might be sort of getting into that as would be expected late in July. That's this week's weather briefing. Hope you have a great week. If you're in the central U.S., enjoy some of that drier weather. Take care.